Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving deep today into, well, what looks like a highly ordinary item,
Yeah, that modest little legume. Creamy surface, distinctive black spot.
a black-eyed pea, or as lots of people know it, lobia.
Right. And the fact it needs two names just hints at its enormous global reach. It's everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And our listener, the learner, is probably wondering, how does this small, unassuming pulse pack such a punch?
Yeah.
Such a legacy of, nourishment and culture across continents.
It's not just food, is it? It's survival, it's ritual resilience, all packed into this tiny seed.
So that's our mission today. Go beyond the recipe book, extract the really core facts about its culinary flexibility, its nutritional power, and its role, maybe surprisingly, in sustainable farming.
Yeah, cut through the noise, give you the full picture, the context.
And that first fact is pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
This pulse has been feeding people for literally millennia. It's foundational.
Truly foundational. So where do we start?
Let's jump straight into segment one. The global kitchen staple. Because the sheer range of dishes you can make with lobia, it's just astounding. It's like the ultimate culinary chameleon.
It really is. And what's neat is how it works for both, a cheap everyday meal and also for special festive food.
It takes on flavors so well.
Totally. Whether it's whole or mashed, it just adapts.
So if we look at Indian kitchens first,
Mm-hmm.
it's way more than just, boiling a bean. The sources get into some really specific, flavorful dishes.
Oh, yeah. For comfort food, you've got that classic lobia curry.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's complex. You simmer the pulse in this thick, hearty tomato and onion gravy. And the spices, you start with cumin, turmeric, maybe ginger and garlic.
Building those layers.
Exactly. And then finish with that warm, heady garam masala mix. The bean just soaks up all those deep, earthy flavors. It's properly rich and satisfying.
But then it can do a complete 180, right, for lighter meals or warmer weather.
Totally. The sources show it in lobia salad, just tossed with fresh chopped cucumber, tomatoes, onions, maybe some coriander.
Sounds refreshing.
And then brightened up with a sharp squeeze of lemon juice, maybe a sprinkle of chaat masala for that tangy kick.
So it can handle heavy spice and fresh, bright flavors.
Yeah.
That's real versatility.
It is. And don't forget the one-pot meals, like lobia pulao.
Cooked right in with the rice.
Yeah, it adds texture, thickens it slightly, and boosts the protein. Turns a simple rice dish into something really substantial, a complete meal.
Okay, so that's a glimpse of India. But you mentioned its global reach, this black-eyed pea identity. It's planted flags everywhere.
Absolutely. It doesn't stop at borders. Look beyond India, and probably the most famous version, at least in the U.S., is Hoppin' John.
Right. The New Year's Day tradition in the American South.
Exactly. Totally different flavor profile, often cooked with rice, like pulao, but seasoned differently, maybe with some smoked pork or bacon.
That dish really anchors the pulse in a specific regional identity, doesn't it?
It does. And what's fascinating when you dig into the history is the clear line back to West Africa. That's where the black-eyed pea originated.
Okay, so the tradition traveled.
It seems so. In places like Ghana, Nigeria, you find dishes like waki or iwa aganyan. They use the pea as a base for stews, sometimes even fritters. That culinary tradition seems to have migrated across the Atlantic.
And adapted.
Yeah, adapted using local ingredients like salt pork and the long-grain rice available there, but keeping the black-eyed pea right at the heart of it.
Wow. So simmered in tomato gravy in India, seasoned with smoked meat in the U.S. South, maybe part of a light Mediterranean salad with olive oil and herbs.
Or stewed in West Africa. It always delivers that substance, that texture.
That consistency across cultures really speaks volumes about its value.
It does, and it brings us perfectly to the next point. That incredible adaptability must come from somewhere, right? There must be some serious nutritional value packed inside.
Good transition. Let's move from the plate to the body. Segment 2, Nutritional Powerhouse. Why is this humble pulse so celebrated for health? What's its secret weapon?
Well, the secret weapon is really its nutrient density combined with a very low-fat profile. It's just a highly efficient way to get both macronutrients and micronutrients without a lot of calories.
Efficient. I like that.
Which makes it absolutely essential in places relying on, say, subsistence farming.
Okay, let's break down the big ones. We hear high protein, high fiber. What does that actually do for someone eating it?
Okay, so the protein, especially if you pair it with a grain like rice, which often happens naturally, gives you the essential amino acids you need for muscle repair, growth, just basic bodily function.
Right.
But the fiber, The fiber is kind of the unsung hero here. Lobhia has both soluble and insoluble fiber.
What's the difference?
Soluble fiber helps lower LDL, the bad cholesterol. Insoluble fiber, well, it acts like a sort of scrub brush for your digestive system.
Keeps things moving.
Exactly. Promotes gut health. And both types help you feel full longer. Satiety. That's huge for managing weight and just keeping your energy steady.
Okay, protein and fiber are key. But beyond the macros, the sources list a whole load of micronutrients too. It sounds like a tiny multivitamin.
It kind of is. It's a great source of folate that's crucial for cell division, DNA stuff. Really important.
Okay.
Then there's iron, which helps fight anemia, boosts energy, and magnesium, which is good for nerves, bones, lots of things.
So it really covers a lot of bases.
It does. Think of it like dietary insurance, especially for people who might not have access to a huge variety of foods. It provides so much fundamental nutrition.
Now here's where I thought it got really interesting. We know it's healthy, but the sources really stressed its low glycemic index, the low GI. We hear that term a lot, but why is that specific feature so valuable?
The low GI. Yes, that's absolutely critical. And it links directly back to this idea of it being a food of endurance, actually.
Right.
Low GI means the carbohydrates in the black-eyed pea break down and get digested slowly. It's not like eating sugar or white bread where you get a quick rush.
You get that spike, then the crash.
Exactly. With Lobhia, the glucose, the sugar, enters your bloodstream gradually, steadily.
Okay, so slow burn energy.
Precisely. Think about someone doing hard physical labor all day, or historically, maybe having long gaps between meals. That sustained energy release is invaluable.
And for modern health.
It helps regulate blood sugar levels really effectively, prevents those metabolic stress spikes. That makes it an excellent food for helping manage or even prevent things like metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. It's just steady, reliable fuel.
It's fascinating how the physical nature of the pulse, its hardiness, the steady energy seems to feed directly into its cultural meaning.
It really does.
Which brings us neatly to segment 3, cultural resilience and meaning. Because this isn't just about nutrition, is it? Whole traditions, even spiritual beliefs, are built around this bean.
It's quite rare, actually, for one single food item to carry such profound symbolic weight in so many different cultures. Speaks to how old and reliable it is.
Let's start with one many might know, the American South and prosperity.
Right. Eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Day, it's almost mandatory in some families for good luck and wealth in the coming year.
Where does that belief come from?
The sources suggest a few things, maybe tied to their appearance, small, round, like coins, symbolizing incoming money.
Oh, okay.
And they're often served with greens like collards or kale, which are meant to symbolize paper money. It's a very tangible expression of hope for the future.
Okay, so that's wealth in the U.S. South. Now let's hop across the globe to India. The meaning there shifts completely.
It does. It's a really fascinating pivot. In India, Lobhia is often linked not to wealth, but to purity and simplicity.
Purity?
It's frequently included in what's called a Sattvic diet, especially during fasting periods. Sattvic food, based on Ayurvedic principles, is all about promoting calmness, mental clarity, spiritual growth.
So avoiding foods that are too stimulating or heavy.
Exactly. You avoid things that are overly rich, complex, spicy, or processed. And the black-eyed pea, in its inherent simplicity, fits that perfectly.
So it's valued because it's modest and clean.
Precisely. It's seen as clean, unadulterated nourishment, easy to digest, doesn't create mental fogginess or, overexcitement. It's sort of the opposite of a heavy, indulgent meal.
Interesting contrast, wealth versus purity. And then if we look at African traditions, we seem to loop back towards ideas of strength and perseverance.
Yes. Here, Lobhia often symbolizes endurance, resilience. It's been a crucial crop, historically one of the last to fail during droughts or hard times.
So its practical survival ability became symbolic.
Seems likely. Its use in community feasts, in rituals, reinforces the idea of the community's own strength and ability to endure. If you connect the dots, it's amazing. The same bean represents wealth, purity, and survival across different continents.
Each a powerful, lasting ideal.
Absolutely. Embodied in this humble pulse.
And that idea of lasting survival, of resilience, leads us right into our final segment. Segment 4, sustainability and the future of farming. We've talked about what Lobhia does for us, but what about its impact on the land? Why is it seen as so important for the future?
This is where its humble nature really makes it an agricultural superpower. Especially now with climate change putting so much stress on farming systems.
That's resilient.
Supremely resilient. That's its greatest gift, agriculturally speaking.
What makes it so tough?
Primarily, it grows incredibly well in dry conditions. Arid, semi-arid climates, places where other crops struggle. The sources consistently highlight its reliability in drought-prone areas.
Because it doesn't need much water.
Exactly. Compared to major staples like, say, rice or maize, it requires minimal water. For farmers facing increasingly unpredictable rainfall, Lobhia is like a safety net. It's dependable.
Okay, so drought-resistant, water-efficient. But its value isn't just about what it doesn't need, right? It actually gives something back.
Absolutely. And this is fundamental for sustainable farming. The black-eyed pea is a champion here. It enriches the soil through nitrogen fixation.
Okay, nitrogen fixation. Can you quickly unpack that for listeners who might not know the term? It sounds important.
It's incredibly important. It's this amazing biological partnership. Legumes, like lobia, have these little bumps on their roots called nodules.
Right.
Inside those nodules live special soil bacteria, rhizobia. And these bacteria can do something amazing. They take nitrogen gas right out of the air.
Which plants can't normally use.
Correct. Plants can't use atmospheric nitrogen directly, but these bacteria convert it into forms the plant can use, like nitrates. Essentially, the plant is making its own fertilizer with the help of its bacterial partners.
That's incredible. So growing lobia actually reduces the need for synthetic, energy-intensive nitrogen fertilizers.
Precisely. It cuts down on that need significantly, which means less energy used in fertilizer production, less chemical runoff into waterways. It's a huge environmental benefit.
But it improves the soil for the next crop, too.
Yes, it leaves a residual nitrogen, improving soil fertility and structure. It's a low-impact, high-value system, absolutely critical for tackling global food security in a sustainable way.
Okay, let's try and pull these threads together. We started with his simple bean, Lobhia, the black-eyed pea.
I found it's globally adaptable. Hoppin' John, Indian curries, salads, stews. It fits everywhere.
We established it's a nutritional powerhouse, high fiber, high protein, and that really key low glycemic index for sustained energy.
Yeah, steady fuel. And we saw how those physical properties connect to deep cultural meanings. Wealth, purity, endurance, all symbolized by the same pulse across the globe.
And underpinning all of that is its role as a truly sustainable crop. It grows where others fail, needs little water, and actively enriches the soil through that amazing nitrogen fixation.
That environmental toughness really brings us full circle, back to that idea of endurance we talked about earlier. It endures and it helps the land endure.
Which leads us to our final provocative thought for you, the listener. Think about this. What does it mean that a crop so vital for sustainable farming, especially now in this era of climate stress, a plant that literally makes the ground it grows in healthier, is also the very same plant humans have historically chosen to mark our most important moments and hopes?
Whether that's hope for prosperity, a desire for purity, or just celebrating sheer tenacious survival.
It seems the black-eyed pea isn't just surviving the future, it's actively helping to shape it. And as long history shows, we've maybe instinctively always understood its profound, enduring value.
Something to think about next time you see it on your plate. Its resilience is remarkable.